You are listening to And That's Okay, the podcast devoted to encouraging you to live in your truth in a society where reality is not what's socially popular. This is a platform where you could be a novice about anything and feel comfortable about it. Let's have the conversations we all wish we had years ago and want to hear more of. Nothing is off limits and there is no shame or judgment here. Join me as I navigate life, marriage, friendships, finances, career, and whatever else life throws at me. Listen, doing all this self-work is bound to piss a few people off, and that's okay. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Angelique Royale. Let's get into it. Do you ever come across being in situations or parts of your life where you feel like you're stuck? Like, I'm stuck here. I can't get out of this. I want you to unlearn that, because you are not stuck at all. You may not be able to see right now how you can get out of this, but I don't believe that you're stuck. I feel like stuck is just something that you just say because you don't want to take the time out to figure out how to get yourself out of it, or you're too scared or afraid of the change you'll have to make to get out of being stuck. So it's like, you don't have to be stuck with something or someone because of time, because of history, because of what they did for you. Like, you have no obligation to be stuck. Like, being stuck is not fun because it doesn't allow you to move. It doesn't allow you to grow. You're stuck. You're stuck in this one place, like you're stuck in the mud. You can't get out, and there's no way to go. Nowhere to go, and you're just stuck. And it's like, some things are only for seasons, and you need to let go and make room for better things. And that's hard sometimes because it does require change. It does require something new, but it's also one of those things like, well, in this stuck situation, I'm not that happy, but there's a possibility that I could be happier. You know, like the excitement of being happier, or the excitement of things being better once I get out of this stuck situation. And it's scary because a lot of people default to the negative and be like, well, and immediately go to what's the worst that can happen. And it's like, unlearn that too, because everything does not have to be bad. You do not deserve bad things to happen to you. So there's nothing wrong with thinking about good. It trains your mind to allow positive things to come your way because, yeah, this can happen, but also these great things can happen because you made this choice or you made this decision. Like in season 1, I talked about letting go. It's beneficial to not allow temporary things to have a hold on you. Like, you gotta let them things go, because they can be blocking you and holding you back from the blessings that you deserve and that you worked so hard for. And you became stuck in this place because of comfortability and because of fear and because of, you know how to predict this. You don't want to come across the unpredictable. So it's like, well, I'll stay here. I'm stuck. And it's like, you don't have to be. Now, it is your choice. You do have the option, but you're not required to stay stuck. You're not required to stay stuck. You will grow and change, and the things that interest you will change as well. It's a part of life. And it's like, why not seek those new things that bring you new excitement, that changes life a little bit, where it's not crazy, but it's different. Because when you start to get comfortable in your stuck stage, you start to slack off. You're not as efficient as you want to be. You're not as effective. You become robotic because you know how this is going to go. You do the same thing every day. You become complacent. And it's not like you're stuck to stay there. Do something small to change it. That way, like, the routine is a little bit different. You are being able to have excitement for your day-to-day life. Changing is a part of growth and tapping into the things that make us feel good. especially when we are trying to unlearn the things that aren't good for us. Like, it's something that you can avoid, but it's like, would you really be happy when you're not reaching your full potential, where you're not being the best possible version of yourself that you can possibly be? And I know it is scary, and that's okay. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to have the unfamiliar. It's okay to question. That's normal. There's nothing wrong with that. But also, don't give fear so much power, because you don't know until you do it. And that's why I always encourage people to start small. Maybe think of little, small, subtle changes you can make. Do not allow yourself to get stuck. Nobody can tell you you're stuck. You're not stuck in no relationship. You're not stuck at no job. You're not stuck in an apartment or a house. Like, you're not stuck in a lot of things. It's your choice if you want to be stuck. Nobody else can make you stuck but you. Can't nobody come tell you like, oh yeah, you stuck with me. No, I'm not. I ain't stuck with you. That sounds a little crazy to me. But like, I'm not stuck with you. Can't nobody come to you and say, oh, you can't do this for another 2 to 3 years. What you mean I can't do this for another 2 to 3 years? Who are you in my life to tell me that I can't do anything for another 2 to 3 years? I'm in control over here. I control what's going on. Can't nobody control your life but you. You don't have to be stuck. You don't have no obligation to anyone unless you decide to have an obligation to that person, depending on who they are in your life. But you don't have to be stuck because someone else tells you that you're supposed to be stuck. You don't have to be. And a lot of people like to manipulate you and use their words and make you feel bad. And it's like, at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you and no one else. They don't pay your bills. They don't see you struggle. They not right there next to you, arm in arm, going through the battles you are facing in the dark. They're not there. A lot of things you're going through, they probably will fold. So who are they to tell you that you're stuck in any situation, that you're stuck at any job? I was a victim of being stuck. And I was stuck because of comfortability. Because of, quote unquote, having security and stability. But in my soul, it felt like I was dishonoring myself because it did not feel right. I had these thoughts and these feelings every time like I walked through the door, and it just was like, what is going on here? And I'm a heavy advocate of therapy, and therapy helped me realize what I was feeling. And it was just like I was going against myself. Like I was going against myself by being stuck and not being aware of my full potential, that this situation was capping me. It wasn't allowing me to be the best version of myself. It wasn't allowing me to thrive. It wasn't allowing me to flourish. And it was just like, it made me sick inside because I'm like, something's off. Something's not right. What's going on? It was affecting my mental. It was affecting my relationships around me. And it was one of those where I'm just like, I can't allow this to have any more control over me. And I took my control back because I did feel stuck. I did feel like I was obligated because I was there. And it's like, no, you're not obligated. You can change. You could wake up tomorrow and be like, I'm done. And then just change it. Like, you're not obligated at all to anyone, to anything, unless you decide to be obligated to that. Like, you make that choice. Nobody else makes that choice for you but you. So don't go around sitting here feeling like the situation you are now, you're stuck. A lot of things are temporary. Nothing is forever. The season you can be going through now is temporary. It won't be the rest of your life. Do the best that you can to navigate it, to understand how you can find a silver lining in it, to understand that it is just a season, and seasons change. Seasons change every 3 months. There's 4 quarters in a year. The situation you're in is temporary. You are not stuck. I'm telling you this today as you listen to this podcast. You are not stuck. Look at tomorrow as a new day, but you are not stuck. Your situation is not permanent. It is a season. You may have to suffer a little bit now, but the blessing that's going to come from once you get through this season will be far more you could imagine. You're going to forget about that season you in now. You're going to forget about it. Nothing is permanent. It is temporary. Nothing is permanent. Life is even temporary. So live it the best that you can, but no, you are not stuck. Take that word out the vocabulary. Let's get rid of that word. Let's cancel stuck. You know how the cancel culture be ready to cancel anything. Let's cancel the word being stuck, because we are not stuck. We could be planted. We could be deeply rooted, but we are not stuck. We are not a stick in the ground that's just doing nothing. No, I want to be planted. I want to plant my seed, have these seeds blossoming. Nope, I don't want to be stuck. I do not want to be a stick in the ground and be stuck in the past. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be stuck in the past either. Let that past stuff go. Let stuff that happened 10 years ago go. A lot of people don't even remember that. You be allowing things to hold weight in your mind, and the people don't even remember. You stuck in the past. Don't be stuck in the past. Let it go. Forgive that person. Move on. Forgiveness is for you. It is not for anybody else but for yourself, so that things don't keep you stuck and hold you captive. Let that stuff go. Let it go. But definitely unlearn being stuck. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It grows you. It allows you to see your full potential and to be who you are, so that nobody can tell you nothing. But don't allow yourself to continue to be stuck. You are so much more than that, and you are so much better than that. You are above being stuck. Do not allow stuck to dictate your life. Don't allow it to dictate your life. I want to take a moment and thank you for listening to this episode and just listening to the podcast, period. I appreciate each and every one of you for sharing the podcast, for telling friends about the podcast, for listening. And I just wanted to let you know that if you wanted to support a little bit more than just liking and sharing and word of mouth, there is an option in the description where you can donate to the podcast. There's no pressure, but I wanted to make that known that you have the option to donate to the podcast. There is a link in the description that you can click, and if you follow on Instagram, which I suggest that you do, the link in my bio will take you to my link tree, and it has a link that you can click on from there so that you could donate. It will go towards upcoming episodes. It will go towards equipment. It will go towards me being able to continue to provide this content for you. But I am truly grateful for all of you. And because of you, I keep going every day. And I just want to take the time and thank you. And if you would like to donate to continue the progression of this podcast, feel free. And I want to thank you in advance if you do. And I hope you have an amazing day, weekend, month, year. And if you are going through anything, things will work out. Just make sure you take care of you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you walked away with some valuable information. Make sure to follow the podcast on IG at And That's Okay Podcast. You can connect with me directly on there. Looking forward to the next episode. Remember to spread love, kindness, and make the choices that bring you peace.